Hey, welcome back to Computers for the Completely Clueless. I'm Lee Keller.
Kim Cavanaugh.
And we actually get a little bit of feedback that some of the stuff we've been doing might be a little bit too complex or maybe it's too easy. Send us some email. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about. We'll get on it right away. So
right, and we'll make sure that we get the email address up on the screen. So if you've got some questions, send them to us. We'll be doing viewer mail at the end of this segment, and always a lot of fun to answer our viewer mail. But, Lee, we're going to go back to our start menu. We were in the start menu a couple weeks ago, and one of the questions that I get a lot is my applications, my list of programs is all jumbled up.
So when I click on this over here.
Yeah, on Start, and you click on All Programs.
Oh, this is all the programs.
All the programs on your computer. You've been installing, deleting, removing, and so forth, and now you've got things out of order. Is there anything I can do to get those things in the correct order?
Well, tell me, Kim, what would you recommend?
Well, what I would recommend is right-click
on
inside that window anywhere. After you click on All Programs, just go ahead and right-click anywhere inside there, and you'll see that you can sort by name.
That's so easy.
Now, when you sort by name, it's now going to reorder those items, and now they're in alphabetical order. So A, E, G, all in nice, neat alphabetical order. So just a real quick tip that lets you kind of organize things so it's easier to find them. Let's take a look at a couple other options in the Start menu.
Okay.
And I think, let's see, what do we want to look on? You'll notice that we have up at the very top above that line, there's sometimes a program you install may add some additional options.
Especially if it's Microsoft Office.
That's right. Since there's such a tight tie-in between Office and Windows, you can open an Office document right from there or begin a
new one. Okay.
Right. Now, we're also want to another question that we've been getting a lot is again about file saving, and we hear this all the time. Computer ate my file. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to just step through best practices on saving a computer file, how to make sure that you look for the 3 key things that every computer file is identified with, and you make sure that you pay attention to them. Because it's the biggest problem that people have is they don't stop and pay attention as they're saving.
And I've done that countless times.
I have too. And one of the problems is that the computer remembers the last time that you saved something when you were in that program. So if I were in my Documents folder and I saved something into my Documents folder, the next time I go to save something in the same program, it's going to want to put it in my Documents. And we'll come back to talk about folders here in just a second. But let's go through the Save dialog. We've got a sample file. This is just a Word document. And Control-S is our keyboard shortcut, Lee, or File Save. Right? And last week we went over the fact that when you have a document that those 3 items don't change, all you need to do is save. If you want to change one of these 3 items, you save as. So let's go ahead and save this, and let's take a look at the 3. All right, here's the big 3. All right, first of all, at the very top, underneath the blue bar, we have a box that says Save In. Now, what the computer is asking is, what's the location? Where do you want me to save this in? What folder does it go in? All right, so right now we've got this set for our documents. But you could put it in a subfolder in Documents, right?
In fact, you could make a subfolder right over here.
I always like that. And what do you think, Lee? I like to keep all of my documents inside my Documents folder when I'm working on my Windows machine. It makes it much easier for me to find them later on. If I need to do a search, I can start with my Documents folder because I know that's where I keep all my documents.
And I've created a Word Documents folder.
Okay, so now inside Word Documents is our new location up at the top. Our second item that every file is identified with is its file name.
And Word typically tries to pick up that first sentence or part of it.
It does. It's kind of handy sometimes, too. So we're going to just save this as test, and you'll see that it has the file extension we talked about in the last segment, test.doc. But how would we change that? That's the third thing. Okay? The third thing you have to know about every computer file that you create is its file type.
This is especially important with the new version of Microsoft Office.
Right. Because
they've come up with a whole new set of file extensions, and if you have to share the file with somebody, you have to save it as a previous version.
Oh, I see. And we don't even have that new version. But you see all the different options that are available there. You can save as a Word document, an XML document, oh boy, all sorts of stuff that you probably don't know what to do with it. We can keep it at the default, That's what it goes to. So again, just to review, 3 areas that every file must be identified, or that are used to identify every file: location, save in, the file name, and the file type. If you want to change one of those 3 things, and let's do that now. Go ahead and save that one if you would.
Okay, we'll save it.
All right. Now let's say you want to save a second copy, or you make a big change. Now you're going to save as, right? Because we want to change one of those 3 things. So we just add to the file name here. We'll
Something I often do is second version, test-2.
Okay, just -2, and there you go. So now we know that's the second version of that document, and saved away. So what do we change? Just the file name. No big deal. All right. Let's see. What was the other thing we were going to talk about today, Lee? I forgot.
A little bit about organization.
Well, we did talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
Can we go to my? Let's go to the start menu again, and look up here. There are 3 system kind of folders, starter folders that you have. One is my documents. We talked about that. Another one is my pictures, and a third one is my music. Now, is there an advantage to keeping things in that kind of a system?
Well, you know where to find them.
Well, yeah, that's it. You do know where to find them. And especially in Windows, there are some things that it does for you that will help you be a little bit better organized. So, for instance, if you're in My Pictures, if you're in that folder, you'll see some options for doing things like creating slideshows or sending pictures out.
That's good
if
stuff.
you're in My Music, inside that folder has some special options applicable to music files.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to go ahead and begin with the basic organization that comes with the computer, and then build from that with your subfolders and your other organizations.
I see you've got some viewer mail there.
Yeah, it's always great to hear from the viewers out there, especially with your questions. And Cindy from Jupiter writes, "Dear Clueless Guys, what's the difference between a power strip, a surge protector, and a battery backup?"
Okay.
And so let's go down through those. Okay, let's start with the simplest one. A power strip, Cindy. Think of a power strip as a heavy-duty extension cord.
Maybe heavy duty.
Maybe heavy-duty. That's all it is. Got a long bar, places to plug stuff in.
Does nothing for you.
It has a little thicker cord, so you get more amps through, so you get a little more juice, but not necessarily anything special.
Okay.
Surge protector, what does that do?
Well, it's supposed to help protect from minor surges from the regular daily routine.
Right.
Every time your air conditioner kicks in, it pulls away power and then it balances out, so you get that surge back.
Right.
It keeps that from spiking and injuring your computer.
Okay, so it just basically normal day-to-day operation of equipment at your house would
It's
cause
not going to help
spikes
if you get hit by lightning.
and surges. Okay, it doesn't help with lighting. What about battery backup? Is that the same thing? Sometimes you get surge protector and battery backup, but now you're spending $60, $70 or more.
Well, you're getting a little bit more protection because it's got to go through that heavy-duty unit there, that
Right.
big battery backup, which weighs about 20, 30 pounds.
Sure.
And you're also getting something that's going to give you an insurance policy, usually with it. You get a little insurance
Most
with
of
those.
the time, those more expensive ones actually come with an insurance policy that covers you. And the other thing is that if your power goes out, you've got a battery, and you can shut your computer down normally,
keep on working,
and you
yeah.
don't lose your work.
Okay, that's it for Computers for the Completely Clueless. Hope to see you next week.
Bye, everybody.